Hello there, my name is Michael Okunloro and this is my YouTube channel. Today I'll be sharing with you 5 things you need to consider before you select fabrics for your next collection. So here are 5 things you need to consider when selecting fabrics for your next selection. Number 1 is that you want to consider how you want your customers to feel in what you're designing, in the collections you're putting together. What do you want them to express when they are wearing this collection? Are you designing this collection for them to feel happy? Are you trying to tell a story with this collection? I remember my second collection called Ballet. Ballet was an urban vintage collection. When we were designing Ballet was me drawing inspiration from the old fashion, from my grandfather generation and my own generation. I was trying to merge the two together, and that was the idea behind Ballet. So that collection required of me to select recent fabrics while still staying true to the vintage designs. I had to consider fabrics like velvet, more recent fabrics that are new to that very particular year. The second thing you want to consider, or you might want to consider when selecting fabric for your next collection, you want to consider the season. There are different fabrics that fit in for different seasons. In the UK here, we have 4 seasons. The year starting with winter, then we move on to spring, then summer, then autumn, then we come back to winter. Back in Nigeria and some more tropical countries where we have just 2 seasons, which is the rainy season and the dry season. So you want to consider the season you're releasing your collection or the season you're dropping your collection and make sure that the fabrics you're getting, they fit into the right season. Another thing you want to consider is your brand aesthetics. What is your brand all about? Is your brand about African prints? For example, I would say that my own brand aesthetics is built on simplicity, style, and this is a subtle tone that it comes with colors. So in my designs and the things I do, I try as much to add some elements of colors into them, which is due to my own brand aesthetics. So you also want to consider that, like, what is your overall general brand aesthetics? And this is going to help you, especially when you're going to the market, to get fabric so you don't get confused. You already know the fabrics that you want to work with and you know the kind of fabrics that you don't want to work with. Number 4, you also want to consider your budget. How much are you willing to sell the collection you're designing? How much is going to go into the total production? You also want to consider your current customers' purchasing power. You do not want to create a collection that at the end of the day you're unable to sell or that will affect your selling power or too high for your current customers. So you need to consider who your customers are, their current budget, how much they are currently paying, or like alternatives of even this, your competitors in the market, what are they charging for what you are doing? So you want to consider all of this together. Let this be your determining factor. So if you get into the market and you see a fabric that you really love but it is above your budget, you know that it is no. What do you then want to do? You want them to look for fabrics that you can as well use instead of that will still give you the same result of what you're trying to create or what you're trying to do. Number 5, if you're into bespoke, you also want to consider your customer needs when you're selecting fabrics for collection. For example, there are some customers that their skin reacts to fabrics. There are some customers who don't like bold prints. There are some customers who love bold prints. There are some customers that they love black. There are some people who love white. See, I've had a customer who only wear white, and I've also had customers who wear black, especially if they're architects. Back in Lagos, there's this customer I had that I was designing for. At to go in one sitting, he can order for 10 white agbada, the same colors, the same fabric, the same design. And I have another customer in South Africa. All he wears is black. He just finds it easy for him to navigate his wardrobe. So you want to consider this customer needs, understand what they like, understand what they do not like as well when you're selecting fabrics. With that 5 key points, I hope I've been able to help you out when next you're selecting fabric for your next collection. If you find this helpful, kindly subscribe to my channel, like, share with someone you know it will be helpful with. So thank you very much. My name is Michael Okunloro and I will see you tomorrow on my daily vlog.